Hi everyone and welcome back. We're reading Brightstorm by Vashti Hardy and we're on chapter 5, Pomeranian Puffback. Eudora Vane stared at the 365 outfits in her great dressing room and the 365 pairs of shoes lined up neatly below, one for every day of the year. If only they were good enough. It wouldn't do. Pomeroy Pommelfree was late with her new set of outfits. Was he going for a award as the most incompetent scene master in Luntown, for guild's sake? She ran her fingers across a silk jacket. She couldn't address the Geographical Society board in one of these old things. She needed more funding. There was one thing she was certain of. Sovereigns bred more sovereigns. It wasn't cheap being one of the most envied members of Luntown society, and this second expedition would take nearly everything she had. Fortunately, she knew it would be more than returned when she won the race to South Polaris, which she would this time. It was more than that. She wanted her statue in the Geographical Society's Great Hall of Explorers, the next in the venerable lineage of Vanes. An insect scuttled out from beneath the pink lounge chair and extended her 4 silver wings. She fluttered them and flew up to land on Eudora's finger. "This won't do at all. I have nothing to wear, Miptera," Eudora said, then calmed her brow and cursed Pommelfree for making her so cross. Wrinkles were very unbecoming. He made a mental note to send someone to retrieve more of the honey bloom extinctors, or whatever it was called, that was so good at soothing her skin. Rushed footsteps stomped up the stairs, and a bedraggled man burst through the door. He could barely be seen due to the swathes of material in his arms, just 2 bloodshot eyes with bulging bags underneath and a few tufts of hair on his balding head. "3 days you've had since I rejected your last efforts," Eudora snapped. Miptera took flight and hovered close to Pommelfree, gnashing her silver mandibles. "I'm sorry, madame," came the scene master's muffled voice. He gave Miptera a worried sideways glance as she lingered beside his face, the clack of her teeth growing faster. Pommelfree's voice juddered. "Catching a Pomeranian puffback proved more difficult than one may expect, as there are but 3 left in the wide. I hope you killed the other 2 as well." "I beg your pardon, madame." "Good gracious, man, I may need matching accessories, and the one I wear would be much more desirable then, wouldn't it?" He rolled her eyes. "Oh, was the whole world really this slow? Well, show me." Pommelfree heaved the many gowns across the chair. He held up the first. "This is an exquisite silk discovered recently, made by indigenous people of the Eastern Isles, berry dipped and—" "No." He tossed it behind the chair and picked up the next, a lush pink fur. He'd hired 5 extra seam masters to get it right. "No," she said before he could even begin. He picked up the next, a tight-fitting bodice which bloomed out to a trumpet skirt with pink furry hems and cuffs. Pommelfree's eyes were wide and hopeful. Eudora tilted her head and reached to the plumes so soft they could barely be felt. "Ah, the Pomeranian." Pommelfree nodded. She held it up. It matched her tall, elegant silhouette perfectly. The board would give her whatever she wanted. "This one will do." The edges of Pommelfree's lips curled in a smile. "But the pink needs lightening. See, the shade is out." He held it beside the 365 others. It looked identical to Pommelfree. "Have the dress back by morning." Pommelfree opened his mouth to complain, but he knew it was futile, so shut it again. "As you wish, as always." "Don't use a tone with me, Pommelfree. There are hundreds of scene masters in Luntown queuing up for the chance to create for me. This will be front page in the Luntown Chronicle." "Would 36 chimes suit you, madame?" "Make it 6, and don't disappoint me," she snapped. Pommelfree dipped his head, and Miptera saw her chance, darting in to bite him on the arm. He yelped and lifted his hand to knock her away, but managed to restrain himself. "Now go, you've quite upset Miptera," Eudora said, waving him away. The insect landed on Eudora's shoulder, clacking her teeth triumphantly. As a dishevelled Pommelfree left the room, another man entered, tall and utterly calm in contrast. He took off his hat and inclined his head respectfully towards Eudora. "Smethwick, it's rather late for business. Can't it wait? I'm meeting the board in the morning for the final expedition approval." "This you will want to hear. I caught sight of a bird close to Brightstorm House." He frowned but quickly corrected it. Hardly newsworthy of the Luntown Chronicle, Smethwick. She threw herself back into the pink gowns on the chair. I'm certain it was Ernest Brightstorm's sapient bird, Eudora. The purest white hawk, not a marking on her. Her eyes narrowed. How could it have flown all the way back? When? Not 2 chimes ago. The children got to it first. I thought you'd want to know, he said. Watch them closely and report back to me. Smethwick bowed and left the room. And that's the end of chapter 5. Thanks very much for listening. See you next time.